James had always been a skeptic. Ghost stories, urban legends. He dismissed them all as nonsense. So when he found a cheap motel on the outskirts of town with a questionable reputation, he booked a room without hesitation. The clerk at the front desk hesitated when he saw James's reservation. "Room 103?" The old man frowned. "I'd recommend a different room." James smirked. "Why? Haunted?" The clerk's eyes darted to the dimly lit hallway. "Something like that." James waved him off and took the key. He'd heard this routine before. Motels trying to drum up some mystery to make their place sound interesting. Inside, room 103 was unremarkable. Beige walls, a stiff bed, an old TV humming static. The air smelled slightly damp. He locked the door, tossed his bag onto the chair, and collapsed onto the bed. Around midnight, the whispers began. At first, but as he turned away, a voice directly behind him whispered, "Don't turn around." The breath on his neck was cold. The weight in the air was suffocating. His body locked up, every muscle frozen. His heart pounded. He didn't turn around. He bolted. The next morning, the motel clerk wasn't surprised to see James at the front desk, pale and shaking. "You saw them, didn't you?" the old man asked. James swallowed hard. "What the hell is in that room?" The clerk sighed, sliding over an old newspaper. The headline read, "Motel Massacre. Family of 3 found murdered in closet of room 103. James's blood ran cold. "And the worst part," the clerk murmured, "they never caught the killer. Some say he never left." Behind James, the door to room 103 creaked open, on its own. First they were soft, like wind slipping through cracks. Then they became distinct, low voices murmuring just beyond the walls. James sat up, heart hammering. He pressed his ear to the wall. The voices were inside the room. His breath hitched. He turned on the bedside lamp. Shadows stretched unnaturally long, twisting on the walls. The air turned cold. The whispers grew louder, overlapping in a chaotic symphony. He swore he heard his own name. Then, a knock at the closet door. James's stomach dropped. He hadn't checked the closet when he arrived. Slowly he stood, every instinct screaming for him to leave. But something compelled him forward. He reached out with a shaking hand and gripped the doorknob. The whispers fell silent. He yanked the door open. Nothing. Just darkness. James let out a nervous chuckle, shaking his head. "Just my imagination."